This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask with your host, Dr. Judith Briles. On the show today, you'll find out where book publishing is going and how to take advantage of it. How to identify and avoid publishing predators. What opportunities are emerging as the book trade evolves in new forms. How to avoid losing money and much, much more. Join us now as a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take the author to the next level of publishing. It's your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Brought to you by AuthorU and the Book Shepherd. And now, here's your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Well, it's a fabulous start for the new year, and I can't think of anyone as I'm leading off this entire month of January that really could bring the kickstart that you all need for entrepreneurs, for speakers, for authors, for fill in the blank. Tom Antion is back with me, but some of you may not know that he is going to be the subject of an upcoming Hollywood documentary called The American Entrepreneur. So with us today is the American legitimate entrepreneur. He's a multi-millionaire internet millionaire. He's the guy next door. He loves dogs. He's the founder of the only licensed dedicated internet marketing school in the country, and one that I highly recommend that you find some time to get there. And here's what you don't know about Tom. He will tell you he's never had a job. So with that said, we're going to be talking about money. We're going to talk about how to make things tax deductible today. We're going to talk about how to literally take a few pennies and turn it into a huge video production. And that how would you like to know you couldn't stop the money coming in if your checking account tried. That's what our topic is today. Tom, welcome back to AuthorU, your guide to book publishing.
Oh, it's great to be back, Judith. And I heard you mention my love of dogs.
Yes, I know
that. At this moment, I have 19 dogs in the house. I'm surrounded by dogs at this moment. My professional trainers in my protection dog business are staying here while they get their house finished. And there's dogs everywhere. You can't look. So if you hear a few barks, well, that's the breaks for today. We can't help it.
Well, so we have a little background music. So, and are these dogs all kinds of different dogs, Tom?
Well, there's about, let's see, 4 German Shepherd protection dogs. There's a Belgian Malinois protection dog, and there's a Husky, and then there's a load of Pomeranian Chihuahua mixes.
Oh my gosh! So you have yips and yipes at all different levels in your house.
Wow, yeah, it's just a blast. I mean, I just love them so much.
Yeah, we used to have an office cat called Money, by the way, when I had my and Money would pierce herself, literally. My desk was where she wanted to be. So that was a challenge. And I remember one time I was hosting Truman Capote, of all people.
Wow.
He was sitting in my office. I have a desk with him sitting behind my desk, and he was mesmerized by this cat.
Well, I had one of my cop friends found a dog at a crime scene, and it was a stray, and he kept it, and he called it Felony.
Oh, perfect. I think that's perfect.
I had another lady. Did you ever see, I mean, some of these gun folks have a sign that says protected by Smith & Wesson.
Oh, my goodness.
So she had 2 German Shepherds, and she named them Smith & Wesson. So her house was protected by Smith & Wesson.
Well, and I had a close friend with 2 Basset hounds, Cleo and Patra. So there we go. All right. So now you all know the inside. We like animals. Mm-hmm. They are cool pals and friends and companions and comforters. I mean, I think animals are amazing. Their intuitive sense when you need support. I just find it amazing. So
yeah, not one of them have ever cheated me in business. That's also
Hey,
a good thing.
and that is something that I've had that same experience, Tom. All right,
Yeah, yeah.
so let's talk about let's just kick off. How do we make our hobbies really tax deductible? And a lot of people, this is one of my grumbles, is that too many authors do not treat their publishing side as a business, and they get into trouble and with their focus, with their energy toward it, and they also don't get some of the tax deductibility that comes from it. But I think you're thinking of a broader, when you say that, maybe a broader. It's just not authoring; it's other things, correct?
It sure is, but I mean, it certainly applies to authoring because authoring takes time. It takes time, and away from potential other money streams to keep your family going. So it's a good idea to pay attention to the business side, and that is one of the problems I saw with a lot of authors in my many years of dealing with them, is that they love to write, but they push the tax and the money stuff to the side and the business stuff to the side. And most successful authors are very good business people. I mean, unless you just get lucky. So one of the things you should pay attention to that's probably right in front of you and your family is your family interests and your family hobbies or your personal hobbies can legitimately be made tax deductible. Now, I'm not a CPA or an attorney or anything, but I have cleared this with probably 100 attorneys that have seen me speak, and they all say, yep, exactly what you're saying is correct, because it's so inexpensive if you just get a little bit of knowledge, to put up an inexpensive website, WordPress, with a nice responsive theme. Responsive means that it looks good on tablets and cell phones. And then you don't even have to sell a product on it. You could be an affiliate for other people's products. And it could be any topic on earth that you're interested in: kids soccer, embroidery, sewing, I mean, anything that you can think of. Somebody has got a product to sell, and you put it on there, and if you just have it up there and it's found and it sells some products, that's now a business. And you might have put less than $100 into the website, and you make money from the website, and now that makes the website tax deductible. The hobby, for instance, I'm a crazy tennis nut. Besides being a dog nut, I'm a tennis nut. So I have a website called Fatso Tennis for the unbelievably out of shape and overweight people that love tennis like me. and so it makes my tennis stuff tax deductible. It's a blog. I interview tennis people, and but the tennis stuff is I buy balls and rackets and ball machines and all these things, and it makes it tax deductible, which leaves more money. If you're going to spend that money anyway, you want to get a tax deduction for it so that you have more money left over to do your writing and to do your other stuff for your family. So that's just one example. The dogs are another one. I got these $50,000 protection dogs, so I started a protection dog company and hired professional trainers to do the work. And so I get my dogs as demo dogs and models to sell protection dogs to other people, and it makes them tax deductible for me. See, so all of these things are perfectly legitimate, and with as cheap as it is now to make a website, literally $100 or less for high quality website, there's no reason not to do this. You're really not taking advantage of all the things you could if you didn't do this.
Mm-hmm. You bring that up. We had a discussion. I had my, just recently, I do this once a month. You can come over to my house. The coffee's on me, but you got to bring a snack to share. And I had 24 authors in my living room on Saturday. And I mean, it seems, as certain times of the year, the beginning of the year or the end of the year, it's always packed. And that one of the things came up with this whole idea of selling other products. And I brought up, and I've written a couple of blogs on it. So I'm going to tell those of you who are listening in, if you go to the Book Shepherd, I'm going to do an update. The last one I did was a couple of years ago on AuthorU-Your, AERIO, but it's through Ingram. And you create it through Ingram, and you go through it, and you have access to the entire Ingram catalog of every book that they have. And you can create this like a little affiliate, just exactly what was Tom saying, that you can cherry pick and go through. And if you want to support Tom's site, you can go to books for tennis fatzos. I mean, you can find anything. But for me, and this is what I'm going to do, because there's a lot of publishing books I think that are excellent, that are connected and related to publishing for authors, for speaking. I have a brand new book on speaking, and I can go into and cherry pick. And I'm going to say, I also recommend this. If people go through my website, through my page, my little store, they go through my website and they go through your website, just as exactly what Tom's saying, that you will get an associate fee, i.e. a commission for every book that people click on and buy. They're not going through Amazon. They're going directly through you because you've got these fans and followers. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, now, another thing I just heard from you is you just said that you brought authors into your house.
I do.
Well, that to me is just like I do with my retreat center. That makes a portion of your home legitimately tax deductible because that's a promotional vehicle. You're clearly in the writing business, and I don't know what your accountant says about it, but I guarantee you that a portion of your home is now tax deductible.
Oh, I can guarantee over 50% of my home, which makes it dicey. Yeah. But let's come back and talk about that, Tom, because we need to take a quick break. But I think the tax deductibility and how you and number one, how do you find the accountant who understands what your vision is and what you're doing and gets it? Because you know what? A lot of them don't. We'll be right back. It's AuthorU, your guide to book publishing.
Is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Is there a book in you or another? AuthorU shows you how to create, develop, and publish your book without being hoodwinked. If you already have a book out, you will find a supportive and brainstorming community that is connected and creative, no matter where you live. AuthorU brings in national experts for its book camps and annual AuthorU extravaganza. It has regular meetings and delivers webinars for its members on timely topics. Through AuthorU's extensive network, members enjoy exclusive benefits, including significant discounts for a variety of services necessary to publishing. AuthorU is the premier authoring resource in the country, creating community, education, guidance, vision, and success for the serious author. If you want to create a book that has pizzazz, punch, and panache, AuthorU is for you. Timely author and publishing tips and articles are posted on its social media platforms, and it is free. Discover AuthorU, where authors go to become seriously successful. Join AuthorU today at AuthorU.org.
First impressions are everything in the world of book publishing. Whether your book is an ebook, a print version, or both, your book cover needs to pop, sizzle, and sparkle to immediately capture the attention of your audience. And your book's interior needs to be just as dynamic and reflect the professionalism your readers demand. Nick Sellinger of NZ Graphics has won numerous national and international book awards for his cover designs and interior layouts. With over 20 years of experience in graphic design, he knows what it takes to create award-winning books and the many promotional pieces that authors need, such as posters, banners, postcards, one-sheets, business cards, logos, and more. Visit ncgraphics.com and see what authors and publishers have to say about their award-winning books and how NZ Graphics can make your book the success it was meant to be. That's nzgraphics.com.
Are you confused about publishing options? Do you know which printing option is best for your book? Does your stomach flip when you think about selling books? Or do you feel overwhelmed with what to do about book marketing and publicity? Get the answers and much more. Get them and from someone who knows publishing inside and out from both the traditional and independent sides, how to make a successful book. You can't do it alone without paying the price. You can spend your money creating a book that turns out to be so-so, or you can create a book that looks and feels classy, builds your brand and platform, and is a success, a bestseller. It is your choice. You choose. If you want author and publishing success, you want Judith Briles as your book coach. Sign up for her weekly blogs and e-zine at thebookshepherd.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, with me is the fabulous, the American entrepreneur, Tom Antion. And we're really talking about smart stuff here. We're talking about smart things dealing with money, with dealing with taxes, with dealing to how to propel you into a really, truly financial success. And you develop a team around you who get how to do that too. I think that's really important to bring into play here. So we were just kissing on some of the home office related areas, and we're not talking, neither Tom and I are tax accountants. We want to get that on the table, but we have worked outside of our homes. I think Tom has been forever. I have worked outside of my home since.
You mean in your home, right?
In the home, yeah. I'm sorry. I used to work outside of my home.
Right.
That all changed in when did that changed in 1986. And I've never looked back. And I just realized I'm not a fit for the corporate office place.
Oh yeah, I'm totally unhireable. That's for sure. I mean, and those people that still are in corporations, I tell them, hey, just buy yourself one of those water fountains and put it in your house and stand around and gossip next to it, and you'll feel like you're back in the corporate world if you're working at home. Yeah, we were just talking about your home office and deductions and things like that, and mine, people actually stay in my house, so I have enormous flexibility on legitimate deductions. It's almost like a bed and breakfast in my case, but it's an enormous estate, which I sit here by myself part of the time because it's just an enormous place with offices and I put a TV studio in and all this stuff. So it'd be very difficult for an IRS agent to say this isn't a legitimate tax deduction of all the things I take off, because people come in here, they stay, they spend an enormous amount of money with my mentor program, and this is part of my mentor program. So yeah, and my podcast is called Screw the Commute because I've never had a job. I've always worked out of my home since 1977. So it's you can live almost 2 or 3 lives, Judith, if you aren't sitting in a car making somebody else rich going to work. So that's the way I look.
Well, it's absolutely true, too. And it's like, my husband, who is getting older, will come down here and I'm an early bird. But those of you who know me, I'm an early bird. I am in my office before 5 o'clock every morning working. And when John wakes up, he comes down and I just can block off a half-hour time just to talk with him and have a cup of coffee, before, and so I take a break that way. I could not do that if I was a commuter.
Yeah,
I commute down the stairs. That's my commute.
Exactly. That's me too.
So,
but anyway, so what they need to do is interview accountants that are more entrepreneurial related. You can't just take the real dyed-in-the-wool, stiff one that's scared to death of his own shadow or her own shadow. You want ones that are entrepreneurial, and as long as you keep your nose clean and don't cheat, you're in good shape with this. I mean, this is the best country in the world to start a business. The opportunities you have to be in business and how easy it is to get in business and the advantages we have with the tax codes. Yes, you're just crazy not to pay attention or to be afraid of it. You need to just learn a little bit about it and start taking advantage of everything that's coming to you, because it's your family you got to take care of. That's why, I kind of hate politics, and, the way I look at it, no matter who's in office, you still have to go and buy a loaf of bread. You have to take care of your own stuff first. And so taking advantage of these deductions, if you don't do it, you're really, doing a disservice to yourself and your family.
And that's the bottom line. So in talking to accountants, and I've always had a CPA on my team, and they've gotten me. And if they don't get how I work, we get a divorce very quickly.
Exactly.
So I think that all of you who are listening in, if you've got a namby-pamby or an ultra-conservative accountant, that it may not be the right fit for the entrepreneur. You really need to work with an accountant who is really well-versed in entrepreneurism and small businesses. Because my experience, Tom, I don't know about you, but I'm aggressive with what I can write off on there. And that it's like I was sharing with Tom during the break that I had 24 authors here, in my monthly Pick My Brain, and he's tying in, this is marketing. It is marketing. Clearly it's marketing. But it's promotion. It's also education. I mean, it comes could I write off my living room? I probably wouldn't, because it's not exclusive, because I've already got half of my household is totally exclusively dedicated to publishing. Totally nothing else goes on.
Yeah, and I don't even consider it aggressive. It's just taking advantage of what's out there. It's not cheating. So many people are just afraid, but it's not cheating. There's just a lot of benefits to being in business. I even teach some of my employees to get a business going on the side to shelter some of their W-2 income that they get from me. So there's nothing shady about it at all, and I wouldn't do anything shady. I want to keep my nose clean, but I want to take advantage of everything that's coming to me, because it's my job to take care of myself, my families, I got my new goddaughter and everybody else, so yeah, don't be afraid of it.
Exactly. Yeah, don't be afraid. So, and my philosophy was when in doubt, I deducted, and then I would come through and fight it. But I remember my accountants would come over, and they would walk through the office. He says, there is absolutely no question. This is an exclusive. This office is better than my office. So we have that. All right.
Now there's something I want to get into, if you don't mind, about
this segue.
A really special way that they can make a really set themselves apart as an author. Because an author, a lot of times it's just words on a page, and I'm not downplaying that at all. But this is a visual world now. That's why Facebook gives a big plus if you put a video out rather than even just a graphic video. So for a long, long time, I've been had a video production company. I built my own studio next door in my in the estate here. But I want to teach them how to make a $50,000 video production about their company and their work for just pennies on the dollar, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Now, this just will set you so far apart of any competitors you have, or get you clients better if you're doing other things besides writing, or to sell your books. Some people use their books, many people use their books to get bigger work, so having a video to go along with it is just a massive plus to you. So here's the deal. Everybody's got, cell phones or nowadays, or smartphones. People are actually shooting TV shows with these phones now. That's how good they are.
Isn't that a kick?
So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So what you want to do is shoot every possible thing you can about your business, where you're located, if you're working with a client, how you write. A lot of artists, people buy their art because they love the story of the artist. Well, an author is an artist of sorts. And so if you tell the story of where your motivation's coming from, and they see how you work, and maybe you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning when it's quiet out, and to have some shots of that, having your cup of coffee in the morning right before you start writing or something. All of that we call candids. Remember candid cameras, like behind the scenes? Mm-hmm. Well, these are candids. And people, and even if every other author on earth does the same thing, they didn't show their clientele that they do the same, how they work. And so, take a video of how you work and what you're thinking when you sit down at that word processor, or maybe sometimes you jot notes on a tablet. I know I do.
I do. Listen, Tom, as I talk to you, yellow pads in hand.
Exactly. Yeah, and some of my best websites started out on a tablet. So you capture all this. And one thing you need is good audio. So if you're using a cell phone, make sure it's very close to you. Or if it's going to be a far away shot and there's audio, you must get an external microphone. And iPhones are a little bit of trouble with that, but you can get them. And then clip it onto yourself, and either make it wireless or wired, and get good audio. Because people will put up with poor video, but they will not put up with poor audio. So make sure you get good audio on it, and just shoot everything you can. And then here's another super duper tip. If you are from Toledo, Ohio, or any other city with a reasonable amount of people.
Okay, Tom, you got to hold Toledo, because we're going to have to go to another quick break here.
I'm going to hold on to Toledo.
Toledo is the buzzword. We'll be right back. It's AuthorU, your guide to book publishing.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Discover the power of you and your book at the Judith Briles Unplugged events. Each summer, Judith Briles Book Marketing Unplugged unfolds over 3 intensive days working with just Judith. You get publishing strategies, author and book platforms, book marketing panache and pizzazz, and authoring tools to take you and your book to rock star success. In the fall and winter, Judith Briles Speaking Unplugged includes Judith as your coach and mentor during 2 powerful days. You will learn how to structure a speech, how to create openings and closings, how to find gigs that pay you and sell your books, and you will get one-on-one coaching. Go to thebookshepherd.com and click on the Events tab to learn how to participate at the next Unplugged Workshop event.
When Ned Thompson and Harry Shore started Thompson Shore in 1972, they believed employees with great character would make up the best company. They were right. They hired people who were not only experts in bookmaking, but who were obsessed with quality and delivering exceptional customer service. Almost 40 years later, Thompson Shore remains a 100% employee-owned company. Ned and Harry knew that successful customer projects are a direct result of empowered employees. We specialize in all books for large and small publishers. Creating beautiful and well-made books, we're dedicated to pleasing our customers by making the experience a good one from start to finish. The personal touch we have with our customers allows us to be innovative in solving their most difficult challenges. Our platform also ensures that we can remain flexible to meet our customers' unique needs and expectations. Our marketing kit can create buzz for your title, enhancing the promotion of your book during infancy. When you need to test the market to gauge your future sales, we can provide digitally printed books that will transition seamlessly into a larger offset run. From ebook to hard copy to delivery, our skillful customer service teams are at the ready to answer your most pressing question. At Thompson Shore, we know that making the highest quality books requires more than just best technologies. It requires superior customer service, professionalism to the trade, and commitment to environmental and social values. With these standards of excellence in place, you can be sure that we will always help you put your best book forward.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Coming up, you'll hear more about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Hi, we're back with Tom Antion, and we're really talking about something I think should be of great interest to all of you. And it's literally how to create a video empire on Pennies, which I like a lot. And Tom is really opening it up. Sometimes just, showing how you start your day as you build your fans, because they want to know. Curious people want to know what you do, how you started off. How do you get done? I can't tell you how many people ask me, how do you get all the things done that you do? Or when people are in my office, in my outside conference room, Tom, they will say, can I look inside your inner office where you're really working and just writing? And it's not like a typical office. What I have learned, Tom, is I don't work at a desk when I'm writing. I work usually off of a laptop when I'm doing the writing now. But I found that I got rid of my neck hurting all the time of being hunched over a desk. I have a really comfortable chair with an ottoman that I sit at, and I can keep my legs up, or if I want to, or whatever. And it's a cushy, comfortable chair. And I'm finding out I'm not hunched over and going, and it's huge. It's been huge for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. My feet are up. My mouse is on the arm of this chair, so my arm is perfectly straight. So no carpal tunnel, and I've been doing this 25 years straight. I mean, pretty much. So no problems with my hands or fingers.
So the hand's not up. Me too. Or sometimes I even have it on the cushion where your rear end goes.
Yeah.
I'll have it down here, and I can just scoot it around there, and it's just made a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Now here's the thing, Judith. You just left me hanging in Toledo.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we're going. Okay, we're back in Ohio, everybody.
You left me in Toledo. For those of you just checking in, I was giving an example. If you live in a town with any reasonable number of people, this is a super duper tip. You want to get a pencil out for some of these tips I'm going to be giving you the rest of the show. You have what is called a CVB, Charlie Victor Bravo. That stands for Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Oh, yes.
And they have enormous amounts of video footage that you can have for free. That's their mandate, is to help their businesses in their region. So on my video, which you can see at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, there's a little monitor there. You can click on it and watch my video, but you'll see aerial footage of Virginia Beach and shopping and all these things that I got for nothing that would have cost me $10,000 to $20,000 to get aerial footage and all this stuff, see? So you can get this for free and use it in your video production. Now, Judith was asking me at the break about how long this should be. Well, there's and almost every time when I'm talking about videos, I tell you make it shorter. Short, short, short. However, there are times when you can have multiple versions and how a longer version will pay off for you. So I'll tell you about the longer version first. Make it 28 and a half minutes. Why? Because frequently you can get on least access TV in your region at just pennies on the dollar. Now, if you go to your cable company, they're going to poo-poo and blow you off and treat you mean and try to get rid of you. So all you do is threaten to call the FCC and report them, because they are mandated to give really cheap rates for least access in your region. They don't want you to know about it. For instance, in Tucson, Arizona, the rack rate was $760 for a 30-minute time slot. I paid $114. See, they hate me because they don't want to lose $600 some in revenue, but that's not my problem. I'm for you. So if you make it 28 and a half minutes, you can fit it on a half-hour slot with time for commercials, and you can even sell the commercial spots and have your things running for free. In some places in the country, it's only $15, $20 for a half-hour slot. See, so that's a really super-duper tip there. But anyway,
all right. So Tom, I have a question on this tip.
Yeah.
So when you are seeking out, like I'm in Denver, Colorado, or my home base is in Aurora, Colorado, they each have metro areas. Each one of them have their own little deal that they can do. Do they have so many that they can do with this mandated rate?
Yes, it's going to be a limited quantity, but again, you're going to fight tooth and nail because they want nothing to do with you. They hate you. So you're just going to have to, most of the cases, you have to threaten to go to the FCC, and then they say, oh, okay, we'll send you the rate sheet. And then they do, and you see what time slots are available and what the rates are. Now, it's after midnight is cheaper than before midnight or prime time and so forth. But when you compare the regular rates they're charging advertisers that don't know about it to the rates that are mandated for them by the government, it's like way cheaper. That's why they hate you.
All right. So is there this mandate that you have to qualify under a certain coding, or
they try to mess with you. And here's what they'll do. They'll say, oh, yeah, okay, you can have those rates, but you have to have a producer's license and go get a big insurance policy. And they're just messing with you to try to get rid of you. So if you do, you just call your insurance agent up and get some cheap insurance policy so you can, but if they keep messing with you too much, you do make a formal complaint to the FCC, and then they do not want that because they're going to have to get their lawyers to defend it, and it's going to cost them way more than just dummying up and giving you the rate. So
is
it's
there
a little bit of adversarial kind of situation.
Okay, so let me ask you then, though, if you go to, like I call my business insurance guy, and that what would I call this clause?
Well, yeah, whatever they call it, like producer's insurance or something, or sometimes it's errors and omission insurance, and the insurance guy is going to laugh. He said, oh, yeah, so, this is so cheap. It's, but it's just the big hassle of doing it. And then you go back to the station, and then they'll find some other thing to mess with you. But if you fight your way through it, I mean, there's been people who's made fortunes by being featured on their local least access channel for chiropractors and everything else on earth, doctors and dentists and that are smart enough to play the system. But you got to have some guts because they are totally against you.
All right, so for our listeners, to find the access channel, would it be called the access channel?
Well, I'm not sure they call it that. It's just going to be all local programming. And so you can probably search Google to find out the least access channels in different regions and different cable systems. Because it's public knowledge. But again, like I said, they'll do everything they can to mess with you because they don't want you.
They would rather fill it with the 700 plus
exactly,
or whatever.
Right. They want
the going rate.
Exactly, because nobody makes any money on this. They're forced to do it, and they resent it like crazy, but they have to do it, or you have the government behind you. Okay, so let's get back to this $50,000 production. So what do you do when you have all this footage? Well, the main thing is you go on a search for a video editor, and I hate to say this because I'm no spring chicken, but these young people are a high school kid sometimes is a fantastic video editor. The one that did mine was a film school graduate just trying to build her portfolio. And so she was only $15 an hour. So my $50,000 production that, by the way, has brought in about $6 million in business. I don't know for sure exactly, but about $6 million. It cost me 200 hours of editing at $15 an hour. So it cost me $3,000 for this thing that's brought in $6 million. Right, and not counting the time for me to just shoot stuff about my business. But that was all free because it was all cell phone and camcorder stuff, and then she put it all together and made this fantastic production for me.
Well, I love this idea. I know we've got 2 minutes till our final break here, but that what we want to do, I mean, I think everyone, I hope you're listening to this because this is so freaking hot. So you're talking about, I love the idea of finding an intern or someone who's trying to build their portfolio so you reduce your cost. And so you're putting things into the can, basically, what we would call, so you have backup. So you're going to create a show title. You're going to have an opening kind of credit or some sort. Would that be right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you can go to places like Elite Video, ELITE Video, which, like when you see my show, if you go and watch it, you'll see this beautiful opening and these transitions between scenes. All of that is stock footage with my stuff just put over top of it, and it costs almost nothing. So don't let somebody talk you into creating all that stuff from scratch. That costs a fortune. So Elite Video is a place where you can get, and Lower Thirds is where there's across the bottom of the screen it says, okay, so-and-so is giving a testimonial. All of that stuff is dirt cheap at stock video places.
So what you're saying, in this, our minute here before our break, what you're really saying is creating a hotsy-totsy infomercial.
Exactly, and it can be, you can have multiple versions of it. I have like a 17-minute version and a 28.5-minute version. You could cut down a 2 or 3 minute version if you wanted for YouTube or something, just to drive traffic. But they can see it at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com. On the home page, there's a little monitor. You click on it, and it'll play. Now, that's one place I put it. But in my contract, you've seen me speak a lot of times, right?
Right.
In my contract.
Hold your contract. Hold your contract. We're coming back from Toledo to the contract. We'll be right back with a fabulous Tom Antion.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
The book shepherding concept is simple. The publishing world is changing, and so must you. You need an experienced shepherd and guide to collaborate with you as you create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve your publishing goals. Publishing is riddled with obstacles, sometimes nightmares for the author. You do not need more problems. You want solutions. Dr. Judith Briles will shepherd you through the maze and chaos. At times, she has had to step in and rescue a book that has been sabotaged by a publisher, by a publishing service provider, and sometimes even by the author. If you want author and book success, connect with her today at thebookshepherd.com.
At Total Printing Systems, customer service is our priority. We are located in Southern Illinois. Our employees have an average of 18 years experience and know that customer relationships are important to our continued success. We have been a short-run book printer for nearly 40 years and always stay at the forefront of technology. Our niche is from 1 to 5,000 copies. Today, we offer digital, black and white, and 4-color high-speed inkjet printing, a cost-effective way to introduce color into your short-run titles. We, of course, offer traditional offset printing as well. Bindery is done in-house, from adhesive case binding to PUR perfect binding to mechanical binding of all types, including side sewing. We provide warehousing, kitting, distribution, inventory management, a new print-on-demand facility, streaming browser-based ebooks, and bookstore. Call us at 1-800-465-5200 for a quote on your next book project. You can also visit our website at www.tps1.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Oh, this hour is going way, 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 way too fast. All right, so with me is Tom Antion, and you're all, as you know, you're all listening to your guide to book publishing, and we're really taking you beyond book publishing. We're actually talking about your success, and options to do to support, because there's so much to it. So we opened up the program really about the whole thing about tax deductibility and treating what you are doing as a business and bringing people on your team who get that, like an accountant, etc. So what Tom's now is taking you down a path of creating your own station that you can do on your cell phone, which I love. And it's just not YouTube. I love this idea of tapping into becoming the local guru and bringing people in to take advantage of your smarts and whatever products you have. So back to you, Tom, for into contracts.
We left me hanging at contracts this time. I was talking about the ways you can use your video production, one of which is it can play on a website, obviously. But one of the ones that I have used, like I said, you've seen me speak, I think, lots of times, but maybe you didn't know that because you were a vendor at a lot of the places I spoke, so you didn't have to registration. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but the people at registration, what you might not know is in my contract, as soon as registration started, even early bird registration, my materials had to be given out along with the registration pack, which included a DVD that had this video on it, and my Magalog, which is a fancy brochure and everything. So somebody would get that. They would go up to their room because the event hadn't even started yet. The next day, watch the DVD on their laptop, and they'd buy my package for $5,000 before I even spoke. And it put me a heads up of all the other speakers and so forth. See, so this is a way to use it on DVD. You can hand it out as a business card that nobody will have compared to you. Mm-hmm. So that's another way we use it. But it's just been very, very powerful because it's a visual society. And like I said, you can have a good editor cut different length versions of it for different purposes. I'm not in favor of the 28.5 minutes unless it's going to be on TV or something. But like I said, they can check it all out, and it's just a bunch of shots put together by an editor with me narrating what's going on, and anybody out there could do this.
So it's putting a game. This is the game plan, what you're talking about, really, to take all of our listeners to the next level of wherever they are. No matter where you are, you can always kick it up.
I want them to stand out among the crowd because, you can swing a dead cat and run into somebody who claims to be an author. Mm-hmm. But who's really doing it? Who's really writing and marketing? Because you can write your butt off and then you'll hear the crickets chirp because nobody will ever see it unless the marketing matches it. And that's the hard part to get through to a lot of authors is they love the writing, but the marketing, is just as important or more important. And what's even sadder and more disgusting, really, and that's just the ways of the world, is a great marketer will beat a great author any day of the week, because they tell everybody how great they are, and the person that really is great is sitting there, like, oh, well, nobody, the wallflower, because nobody knows about them. So you have to match the marketing to the writing, or God help you.
Yes, you do. So, and this is the way to create endless dollars that your checking account will never get tired of, right?
I'll tell you what, I want to explain this concept because it sounds like BS. And by the way, this is a good publicity technique called a hook, is to say something outrageous, but then explain how it actually works, and then people say, wow. So the outrageous statement here is, I couldn't stop the money coming to my checking account if I tried, Judith, and that is absolutely true. Sounds like BS, though, doesn't it? Sounds like, somebody standing in front of a Learjet they don't own and claiming to get rich quick, right? But here's
Tom, Tom, I know you, and I believe what you're saying.
Well, yeah, but I still need to explain it, because I want people to be able to use this for themselves, because this is like an insurance policy, Judith, for your family. If you have money coming in when life gets in the way, or you're busy, or you're tired, or you get hurt, or you get sick. I mean, I know I took 3 months off when my mother went south on me, and I had to move her out of our family home after 50 years, and how traumatic that was. I took 3 months off, and I think I did between $100,000 and $150,000 a month each month I was gone. So most people said, well, we'd have been bankrupt if we took 3 months off, So this is how it works. So the first thing I need to describe, and we mentioned it earlier, is an affiliate program. What affiliate means? That means that you recommend. Let's say, Judith, you have a product, and I recommend it to people in my email list, and if they buy it from you, you give me a commission. Okay, that's a basic affiliate scenario. I recommend something, they click through my link, and if they buy it from you, you pay me a commission. Well, what if you had like a CD of the month club or something, or an audio of the month club, and I recommended it to my people, and the first month they went over and purchased it from you, and you gave me a commission, right?
Right.
Well, what happens the second month, Judith?
There could be an ongoing one.
Yeah, they buy it from you again, and you give me another commission. What happens the third month? They buy it from you that month, and it just keeps going on and on as long as they're in the program. Now, how many times did I promote it to that person? Once. How many times do I get paid? Forever, as long as they stay in your program. This is called a residual affiliate program. So you recommend something that people use over and over and over, and you keep getting paid. If I quit right now, fired everybody, I'd have, I don't know, $300,000-$400,000 a year coming in if I just quit. All right. So that's what the kind of insurance policy I want for these folks. And it gives you more time to write, and it gives you more time to do stuff with your family and do your vacations and all the things you like to do if that money is coming in, see? And another beautiful thing about being an affiliate is you don't have to service the customer. What happens if they don't get their CD one month? Who do they call? They call you, not me. All right?
Exactly.
See? So affiliate marketing, I just did a whole webinar on this last night. If anybody wants the link to it, they can listen to it. But so this is called a residual affiliate program. I couldn't stop the money coming in my checking account if I tried, because once I promote it and somebody gets in, I just keep getting paid over and over and over. It's not hocus pocus. It's not get rich quick. But I can tell you, one program alone has brought me $3.5 million. All right, so this is, and that works out to about $233,000 a year just from that one program. So over many years. So this is the real stuff, and if the authors that are listening to you can jump in and spend as much time on this, building these things, these marketing channels, they'll never have to worry again.
Okay, I love that. Maybe we should do that webinar, Tom.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Affiliate stuff and residual affiliate stuff is a big, big insurance policy for people.
Okay, so that was number one. Number two.
We're going to do something in February, right?
We are. Yes, we're gonna set up the date so we can do it and get it written up and start promoting now. I don't like to wait till the last minute. I like the people know it's coming, so to speak.
Yeah, great.
All right, we have 3 minutes left. So what other goodies can we leave with our audience?
Well, I just want them to, an overall picture that there's so many powerful tools out there. Let me give them another tool that's really great that they could be using right now. There's a thing called SpeakPipe, P-I-P-E, speakpipe.com. It's a little widget you could put on your website, and it allows people to click a button and leave you a voicemail right through your website, and you'll get an email that you can listen to them right there on your cell phone and leave them a message back right through your website, and it's free. It's free.
Okay, so it's called SpeakPipe?
P-I-P-E.
Oh, pipe, P-I-P-E.
Pipe, yeah, like a water pipe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speakpipe.com. But there's just tons of things like this out there, and when you immerse yourself in this like me and my crew do day and night, these things are so powerful. That's why I keep saying it's the best time on earth to be in business with these powerful tools. Lets you reach around the world. I mean, there's contest software. There's all kinds of viral mechanisms that, if people buy more of your stuff, it's like a frequent buyer program. You can put software in and give them prizes. And, I mean, just loyalty programs. All of these things are available now that when I first started, there was nothing. You barely could get a website up. But now, best time in the world to be in a small business.
Well, and, I've also said that for authoring, Tom, that when I started authoring in 1981, when my first book came out, we had to do everything the old-fashioned way, absolutely everything. There was not the internet. There was none of the capabilities that we have
And
now.
You can bypass all the big publishers now. If they don't like you and they're giving nothing as an advance, well, too bad. I got plenty of other outlets now that I don't need them.
No, most authors. Okay, we have one more tip. We have 1 minute left.
Well, I just want to make sure people take advantage of all kinds of free stuff of mine. And my podcast, ScrewTheCommute.com, every Monday I do an in-depth training session on something. And then Wednesdays and Fridays I interview great entrepreneurs. And you're going to be on there pretty soon there, Ms.
I know. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So it leads to all kinds of great stuff that'll help you. Lots of free stuff, lots of free webinars, and I really am a small business advocate, and I want your authors to think of themselves as business people, not just authors.
All right. So everyone, we're going to close off. Tom, thank you for being with us. Everyone, go to greatinternet.training.com. Watch
Great internet
the video.
marketing training.
Great internet marketing. Great internet marketing. And we will be back with that. Thank you, Tom.
Okay.
Thank you for being a part of Your Guide to Book Publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. Each